Welcome everyone to week 8 of my NFL picks and predictions, straight up and against the spread. I have been on an absolute tear. Let's see how this week goes. Let's waste no time and get right into it. The first game was Thursday Night Football. Plenty of people are probably seeing after it already happened. The Vikings versus the Rams. The Vikings were favored by 2.5. I took the Vikings and I laid the 2.5. I would not be surprised if the Rams do win the game. Obviously, Cooper Kupp is trying not to get traded. Matthew Stafford is trying not to get traded. They're trying to keep that band together. So it means a lot for LA, but I got the Vikings coming off a loss. And now let's get into the rest of the picks. The Arizona Cardinals taking on my boys, the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are at home. They're favored by 3.5 points. Tua is coming back, and I am rolling with the Miami Dolphins in this game. I'm going to lay the 3.5 points as well. I think the Dolphins put up some points. They put up a lot of points. Cardinals defense is kind of sus. They give up a lot of yardage to running backs and wide receivers. I expect this Dolphins offense to get clicking, and if not, then I don't think I would pick the Dolphins again this season. So I got the Dolphins and the Dolphins minus 3.5. The next game, New York Jets coming off yet another loss. Talk about must win. I mean, they're 2-5 right now. What is going on? Taking on the New England Patriots. Jets are favored by 7 points. Devontae Adams is a New York Jet. This is going to be his second game. The Jets absolutely have to win this game. And the last time that the New York Jets looked like a competent football team, it was against the New England Patriots, where Rodgers looked pretty good and they got the win. Listen, I'm going to lay the 7. I think the Patriots freaking suck, and I think the Jets win this game. And even though it's in New England, just doesn't matter. So give me the Jets on that. Next game, the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Bengals. I think this is going to be a very even matchup. It's hard to get a read on this one. I think it's going to be a great game. Bengals are at home, and they're favored by 2.5 points here. I'm going to pick the Bengals, and I'm also going to lay the 2.5 points. I really like the way they've been moving the ball lately. I like how Chase Brown has been, just beasting. I think if they look at Chase Brown a lot, give him more and more and more reps, I think the Bengals are going to be a very good team. And I think playoffs is not a long shot for these boys. So give me the Bengals and the Bengals minus 2.5, which is crazy. I mean, the way they started this season, playoffs was a question mark. But the way the AFC is going, I don't think it's much of a question mark. Now, the Green Bay Packers. How about the Packers, man? I mean, damn. Losing Jordan Love week 1, having Malik Willis come in and then still ball, and then Jordan Love comes back in and looks freaking unbelievable. Yo, this Packers team is freaking fun to watch. They're electric. They're well coached. And I thought it was going to take some time after getting rid of Rodgers for the Packers to kind of get back up there. But, man, I mean, they're just constantly building quarterbacks. You go from Favre to Rodgers and now to Love. Man, they got a good thing going there, and I can see kind of like the sustainability of what their plan is for the now and going forward. They're probably going to do the same thing with the next quarterback that's in line. Packers are going against the Jaguars. This game is in Jacksonville. They're laying 3.5 points. Listen, Packers don't do well in warm weather games, but the Jaguars freaking suck, man. And Jordan Love is freaking awesome. Give me the Packers to win this game, and give me the Packers laying the 3.5 points. I am not picking the Jaguars whatsoever, even the 3.5 points. No, thank you. Hard pass. Next game, the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is at home. This is a spot where I would pick the Buccaneers, but man, talk about the injuries, man. Losing Chris Godwin for the season, losing Mike Evans till about like week 12. Man, feel bad for Tampa Bay. I don't think they win this one. It's going to be a tough task to play without those two top guys. And you're going against Kirk Cousins, and you're going in an Atlanta Falcons team that is much improved from last year. Raheem Morris is really calling the shots, and he's doing a fantastic job. Kirk Cousins doesn't look bad as well. Listen, Falcons are favored by 2.5 points. It's a division matchup on the road. I get it. It's tough, but I'm going to take the Falcons and lay the 2.5. Next game, division game. Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. This game is in Cleveland. Cleveland is without Deshaun Watson. Ravens are favored by 8.5. This is a division game. Nick Chubb is back. He scored a touchdown last week. Deshaun Watson is out. Jameis Winston gets to start. And I am a big fan of Jameis Winston. Why? Because this guy is a guy that doesn't play afraid. He chucks it up there. He loves one-on-one. He gives you opportunities to win, and he just freaking has that gunslinger mentality that this Cleveland Browns team kind of needs. I love the defense. What the question mark to me was, are you going to have a guy that can throw the football? I think Jameis is that guy. An 8.5-point line is disrespectful. I'm absolutely taking that 8.5. I'm also locking that in as the best bet, but I'm going to go ahead and might pull a shocker to people, but I'm taking the Browns straight up. I think the Browns beat the Ravens. The Ravens have looked so good thus far. I will give you that. But a division game in Cleveland with a defense that I like and a quarterback that I like in Jameis, fans are going to go crazy. The fans are going to rally behind this. I don't think this line is fair. Like I said, I love the 8.5. And if I'm going to just put my money where my mouth is, man. Give me the Browns to upset the Ravens. That is my upset of the week. And the next game, another division game. The Colts taking on the Texans. Texans are favored by 5.5 points. Colts coming off a win with Anthony Richardson against my Miami Dolphins. Texans are still without Nico Collins. Stroud has not looked like the Stroud I expected to see this season after even adding guys like Stephon Diggs to his team and Joe Mixon. Kind of a slow start. I don't understand it, but the Texans are still in good hands. I mean, they're winning football games. They're at the top of the AFC. This is a division game. They're at home. They got to take care of business. I don't trust the Colts at all. Give me the Texans and the Texans minus 5.5. Next game, the Tennessee Titans going to Detroit, taking on the Lions. Lions are favored by 11.5 points at home. Freaking love this Lions team, man. I've been on them all year. I've been saying this team can win the Super Bowl, guys. This team is like that. I've been saying that since week 1. And, man, they have not disappointed me whatsoever. I still feel like they haven't even played their best football yet. That's the crazy thing. Although, against the Cowboys, I do think they played their best football. Listen, give me the Lions and give me the Lions laying the big spread of 11.5, which is crazy for the NFL, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Next game, the New Orleans Saints taking on the Chargers. Chargers are favored by 7.5 points here. They're at home. I'm going to take the Saints plus the 7.5, but I'm going to take the Chargers to bounce back and win the game. They should not have lost to the Cardinals. I don't know what happened there, but I think they bounce back at home, and I think Harbaugh kind of gets back to the routine that they've been playing, which is pretty solid brand of football this season so far. Next game, the Buffalo Bills taking on the Seahawks. This game is in Seattle. Very loud place, very loud environment to play in. Bills are favored by 3 points. I'm going to take the Bills, but I'm going to take the Seahawks plus 3. I think this game might be a 3-point finish because of the crowd in Seattle and because of, I think that offense can really move the ball against Buffalo's defense. So I'll take the Seahawks plus 3, but the Bills straight up. Next game, the Bears against the Washington Commanders in Washington. Bears are favored by 2.5, and that is pretty much because Jaden Daniels is going to be out. Unfortunately, has an injury, which sucks because the Commanders were flying high. They had like 7 home games remaining. You kind of could lock them into a playoff spot already. But with Jaden Daniels missing time, that is a big blow for this team. It's going to be tough to see if they can bounce back with Mariota. Obviously, they got past the Panthers. The Panthers freaking suck. The Bears are not too good, though. But I think they need Jaden Daniels bad. I don't trust Mariota whatsoever. As much as I want to pick the Commanders because they've looked great, I just give so much credit to Jaden Daniels. And if he's not playing this game, I'm going to have to fade them and pick the Chicago Bears. I'm going to pick Caleb Williams and the Bears coming off what they had a nice little week against the Jaguars, then had a bye week. They're well rested. Give me the Bears minus 2.5 and the Bears straight up. I also think Keenan Allen, if he plays, gets into the end zone. Just a heads up on that. Denver Broncos taking on the Panthers. Broncos are favored by 10.5 points. They're at home. I am fading the Panthers every single week in and week out on my show. All right, so give me the Broncos minus the 10.5, even though that's kind of big number for Bo Nix at quarterback. Man, I just think the Panthers suck, man. So I'm willing to ride with it. Give me the Broncos and the Broncos minus 10.5. Next game, the Chiefs and Raiders. Raiders usually play the Chiefs well, but man, the Raiders are they are a mess, man. Normally it's like I would pick this 9.5-point spread, but actually I'm gonna pick it. You know what? I'm going to pick it. They usually play them tough. Sometimes they even beat the Chiefs. Look at last year. This has happened over a couple of years now. Give me the Raiders plus the 9.5, but I'm definitely saying that the Chiefs pick up this win. Chiefs are favored by 9.5 on the road in Vegas. So Vegas plus 9.5 and Chiefs straight up. Next game, the Dallas Cowboys, Sunday nighter. Dallas Cowboys taking on the 49ers. 49ers are favored by 4.5 in San Fran. They have been losing games left and right. They have now lost Brandon Ayuk, who's out for the season. CMC is still not playing. Dallas is also dealing with injuries. This is a game where, if they were both healthy, it would be a fantastic game. Now, I still think we get a good game here on Sunday Night Football, but man, there's so much star power missing on both sides of the football. It's kind of hard to get a read. So because it's hard for me to get a read, I'm going to take the Niners straight up, but I'm going to take the Cowboys plus 4.5. You're giving me over 3 points when I think these two teams are actually neck and neck and are pretty close. I'm surprised that this spread isn't a little bit lower. I think you're getting some value here with Dallas plus 4.5. I get it. They're not healthy, but neither are the 49ers. All right. So Niners to win, Cowboys plus 4.5. Next game, Monday Night Football, and the final game. The New York Giants going to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. The Steelers are favored by 6.5 points. Steelers defense has been awesome. I mean, talk about that ass kicking against the New York Jets, man. This Steeler football team is kind of starting to catch my eye, man. They got my attention. I didn't believe in it for the first couple weeks, but boy, I mean, they just play physical. They run. They're like I said, their defense is physical. George Pickens is freaking awesome. Now Russell Wilson, if he's able to play like he did last week, he's a solid quarterback, man. And I've always loved Russell Wilson. So give me the Steelers to win this game. And however, give me the Giants plus the 6.5. I'd say the Giants cover here, but give me the Steelers to win this game. Obviously, Steelers are a physical football team. They're not a team that's going to smack you up and down and kind of win by a touchdown normally. They kind of grind you out, even though they have some solid performances this year. I'm just saying that's how I view them. So for that reason, I think the Giants keep it close. Plus 6.5 for the Giants, but the Steelers straight up. And those are my picks for this week. My upset of the week was, if you guys missed it, my upset of the week is the Cleveland Browns over the Baltimore Ravens. Cleveland at home. Love the defense once again. But Jameis Winston, I am a believer in that man. Love Jameis Winston. Can't wait to see him ball. And those are my picks. Best of luck if you are tailing any of these picks. If you disagree, let me know what's your upset of the week in the comment box. And make sure to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up to support the channel and support the show. And I'll catch you guys right here next week. See you later, everyone.